All right, good morning, traders. Today is June 24th, 2025. My name is John Carignan. I'm the lead instructor here at the BYOB Trading Room. Thank you for being here. Hey, I want to thank everybody out there in podcast land, digital land, cyber land. Thank you so much for being a part of the BYOB experience. I tried very hard every day to provide actionable, profitable content. Thank you for the subscriptions, the followings, the thumbs up, the likes. Bob Jordan, love you. Thank you for all the kind comments. Really appreciate that. Just want to say, everybody, thank you for the kind words. I'm honored. I don't take it for granted. I hope to continue with this. This helps me keep me inspired to keep continuing to do more and more. All right. So, hey, let's go take a look at some charts today. Hey, got something here. Okay, before we get started. Today, Rick Sadler from Hit and Run Candlesticks, 30-year veteran trader, profitable, successful trader, okay, is having an open house today, all right, in the in the Hit and Run Candlesticks trading room, all right. He's probably going to cover some rounded bottom breakouts. He's probably going to cover some 3-ace traps. He's probably going to cover the trend indicator, okay, that's the 17 with the different color when the price is above it. He's going to go over entries and exits. He's going to go over a lot of stuff. He's going to talk about the market. He's going to talk about some strategies that he uses to make money every day. So it's free, all right? All right, it's free education. If you're out there in Cyberland, Digital Land, anywhere, either that or in the room, open house today in the Hit and Run Candlesticks, 8:45 to 4:15. Now you can take your smartphone, scan this code, and get registered, and they'll send you a link and the credentials to get into the room. All right. Just saying that if you want to enter into the room, I will leave a link in the description of my video so that you can join. I'm sure my video probably won't be ready until probably 9:15, 9:30, okay? But you can still get the credentials and get in there. I'll let you know. If you look on one of my past videos, it should be in there. Actually, on yesterday's video, it should be in there. So if you can't wait and you want to see yesterday's video and just go snap right to it, go look for yesterday's video on my YouTube. Look down in the description. You'll see a link in there. Or you can find it on Facebook. I'll have it on X. I have it on Facebook. So it's all there. All right. So free, open house, no charge. All you got to do is register to get in. There's the QR code. I'll provide a link in the description. All right. Let's dig into the morning routine here. Today's June 24th, 2025. Good morning. Thanks for being here. My SPY pivot this morning, 596.95. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. All of the Fab Five, yes, all of the Fab Five, all of them still in daily uptrends. QQQ, FNGB made lower lows, lower highs, closing over their traps and over their 17 EMAs. SPY, IWM, Diamond Dow made outside day, that's higher highs and lower lows, closing over their traps and over their 17 EMAs. SPY closed with a 2-hour uptrend and a 10-minute uptrend. Gold and silver both in daily uptrends. Both made higher highs and higher lows, closing over their bullish traps over their 17 EMAs. USO in a daily uptrend made an outside day. You guys know it's a higher high and a lower low, closing under a bullish trap over the 17 EMA. UNG made a lower low and a lower high, closing under a bullish trap and under the 17 EMA. I got to say, we got peace in the Middle East, all right? So you could see a lot of money coming out of UNG and USO and XLE, all right? Be careful with that one, all right? Now that we got possible peace talks, I don't know. I just heard news last night that we got some peace going on, maybe some stability in the region. We'll see. Everybody was lined up to get it done. I don't know whether they got it done or what's going on. But apparently we have a possible peace deal on the table if not signed already. Okay, with that just covers the energy right there, okay? Could be some money coming out of energy. U.S. dollar index in a downtrend, closed near the 98.41 area. Okay, it's still in a downtrend. We love that. SPY max pain for today, 598. That's all the options that expire in SPY today. Only SPY options that expire today. Max pain is 598. Put to call ratio is 1.2 puts for each call that expires today. Remember, those index options expire at 4:15, whereas security options expire at 4 p.m. All right, so we'll take a look at what's going on there. Okay, couple of bulls here. M-Chip still set up for a breakout. MAG still set up for a breakout. ALGM still set up for a breakout. I think Oust had a nice rip yesterday. And those are the bulls that I got them flagged and starred and, marked off in case you're interested in something that's like consolidating near the highs and ready for a grinder box breakout. Those three right there, I like them. A lot of other ones are just keep moving up here. All right, so just letting you know, those were there. Okay. I think they were starred yesterday too, so they're kind of still moving to the right. All right, let's take a look at some charts. Oh, and let's take a look at this. We'll look at a little bit, all right? So, game plan for today for SPY. All right, this is the game plan, but it's not the plan. It's a game plan for the red erases green, green erases red. SPY pivot 596.95. Again, above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. You can see the rally all-time high anchored VWAP, which I think we got a new all-time high rally anchored VWAP. I think we got a new high for the rally, but it currently resides at 599.40. Okay, just to let you know that's where that is. So we could get a pullback to there, create the half back, and then a rip out of here. Now that we got peace in the Middle East, that's big news. All right, that means no more killing. Right? Anytime you stop killing life, you got potential consumers. When you got potential consumers, well, that just means higher sales. So there you go. There's SPY. Green erases red over 640. You can see we're well above that. Red erases green underneath 593.30. You can see we're far from that. I don't even think we're going to get near that today. Okay, I do expect them to put in a higher high sometime, a higher high for the rally. So far the rally high is, let me just mark this off, 605.06. We are at 605.01 right now. I don't know what the pre-market says, but we'll take a look at that in a little bit. So there's the SPY game plan. All right, let's take a peek at a different one here. Okay, so here's SPY on the 10-minute. You can see we have the yellow 3 EMA is up over the 8 EMA right here. Okay, so there is a 10-minute uptrend. See that? This is moving up. See how the green dots are moving up? This is the 3-8 right here, moving up. Okay, so we have a 10-minute uptrend going into the close. Of course, we're gapping up. 2 hour. We have a 2 hour. The 3 is on top of the 8. 2 hour uptrend coming into the close. Okay, so 10-minute and 2 hour uptrend. Okay, right into resistance, which is 605, which is the rally, the high for the rally right there. Not the all-time high, but it's the rally high. Okay, on the daily chart, you can see we got an outside day closing over the trap, bullish cross there over the 17. Okay, all of that's bullish. If we look at it with the quad lines on there, we're up in quadrant 4. That's bullish. We're still consolidating over prior consolidation. That's bullish. Over the all-time high anchored VWAP. That's always bullish as long as we're moving up. Over the higher lows and higher highs. That's an uptrend. That's always bullish. Okay. There's SPY. Moving up, consolidating, and holding that higher ground. Definitely all of that is bullish up there in quadrant 4. So we're bullish. All right, on SPY. If you didn't know it, we are bullish on SPY. All right, let's take a look at QQQ. QQQ, lower low, lower high, closing over a bullish cross over the 17 EMA. All of that's bullish. Look at that. We're up at quadrant 4. It's bullish. We're consolidating over prior consolidation. That's bullish. Over the uptrend line, bullish. Over the all-time high anchored VWAP, bullish. Quadrant 4, bullish. Uptrend, always bullish right there. QQQ working out nicely up over that 17 EMA. FNGB, lower high, lower low, closing over the trap. That's a bullish cross. Over the 17, up in quadrant 4, holding the higher ground. Consolidation over consolidation. It's the same thing. Over the all-time high anchored VWAP, over the uptrend line, quadrant 4. Uptrend, that's bullish. Consolidation over consolidation. It's all bullish. FNGB, this is bullish. Okay, so far. FNGB, QQQ, SPY, IWM. All right, IWM consolidating over prior consolidation. That's always bullish. We're up over the all-time high anchored VWAP. That's the pink lines. If you don't know it, that's the pink lines as to the all-time high anchored VWAPs. All right, over that, that's bullish. We're in an uptrend. Higher lows, higher highs. That's bullish. Everything bullish there on IWM. Not quite in the same position as FNGB, QQQ, SPY, okay? Notice they're all up in the upper third or quadrant 4. IWM just over the midpoint here, okay? So on the bullish side of neutrality, but still just neutral right through here, but acting bullish at this time. Diamond Dow. Diamond Dow in the upper third, that's bullish. Got an outside day, closing over the trap, over the 17. That's always bullish. Again, over the all-time high anchored VWAP, that's the pink line, that's bullish. Price action on the backside of this uptrend line, and nothing's to say that this doesn't have to swing out some. Okay, we'll see where it wants to go. We can take that off of there. All right, so there's Diamond Dow. That's an uptrend. Higher lows, higher highs. That's an uptrend. That's bullish. We're consolidating, holding that higher ground. That's bullish. Diamond Dow is bullish up there in the upper third. All right, let's take a look at technicals. T2122. You can see here we are. We woke up this morning, yesterday, okay, in the buyer's chop zone, and they flaked out. I got to tell you, they flaked out. They went all the way down to the sell zone, made a lower low. See, there's the low. They made a lower low, and I didn't like that. But from that, they bounced. All right, we came in so hard and fast. We had that red rubber school ball bounce, and we bounced all the way through seller's chop zone, okay, all the way through buyer's chop zone, and we bounced all the way through into the buy zone up here. So nice work on T2122. Did not see that coming. I would expect us to be definitely in the buy zone. With all that news that we had from last night, we may be in the overbought zone sometime today, okay? So I hope we just hang out here in the buy zone. We'll see. But that was a nice recovery, making a higher high after we made a lower high right here yesterday. It's a nice recovery on that. T2123, you can see here's the sell-off into the afternoon hours, into the European close right there, and then we bounced after they closed, all right, and ripped all the way back to the 200 SMA. There's T2123. It's in a downtrend. No, it's in an uptrend because there's a high, and we made a higher high. So T2123 now back into an uptrend. Okay, I think we get back up on top of that 200 SMA. That would be nice and bullish. And look at price action moving up, holding the higher ground. Again, consolidating over prior consolidation. Okay, in an uptrend. All of that is bullish right there. Okay, that's T2123 15-minute chart. Here's the 3-bar chart. Here's the 3-bar chart. Put in 2 red candle balls yesterday, candle bars. One green one recovered all of that. So we made a higher low finally. Here's the first higher low underneath the 17. First higher low for T2123. We're up over the 200 SMA. That's always bullish. You can see price action moves up, holds the higher ground. That's bullish. You got consolidation over prior consolidation. That's always bullish right there. T2123 in an uptrend and acting bullish, consolidating over prior consolidation. Like that. Okay, FNGB. Again, little selling into the morning. Right here. Little selling. And double bottom failed to make a lower low. See that high, that low right there? They failed to make a lower low, and that produced a rally for a new high. So you can see price action back up over the 200 SMA. That's always bullish. Making a higher high. That's an uptrend. That's bullish. FNGB up over this all-time high anchored VWAP. That's bullish. Up over the uptrend line. That's bullish. FNGB is bullish. Again, you got consolidation over prior consolidation. Got a bullish gap today. I don't think we get that filled. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think we get it filled. It may get filled, but I don't think so. There's FNGB. That's price action looking really good. I think we would do a lot of ripping today to the highs. Maybe even test out 610. We'll see. So there's FNGB on the 15-minute. Definite uptrend. Definite bullish. Holding the higher ground. Love that, FNGB. We watch FNGB because it's got 10 of the most heavily weighted securities in the SPY and the QQQ. All right? And those 10 have the ability, when they move as a pack, to jerk those two indexes in whatever direction they're going, regardless of what the others in the index are doing. Okay? So they have that much power. Israel and Iran are not cooperating. Trump issued a very angry statement this morning. Thanks, Chip. Thank you so much. I thought I had hopes. I had hopes for 650 this week. I just can't count on anything. Thanks, Chip, for updating us. All right, there's FNGB. All right, what are we going to do now? We got FNGB. Let's go take a look at some sectors. All right, so I guess maybe all that money's not coming out of the oil sector. Let's take a look. XLE, where we are in the pre-market. Yeah, we're lower than where we were yesterday. All right, so here's XLE. Big red candle down, lower outside day. Higher. Closing underneath bullish trap, but over the 17. That's still bullish up there. As long as they're over the 17, closing under the trap, not so much. But over the 17 is bullish. Over downtrend line 1, but under downtrend line 2. On the bearish side of neutrality here, we did make higher highs. That's an uptrend. That's still bullish. So XLE, still bullish, but still in the neutral territory. Not in the upper third, not in the lower third, okay? So there's XLE. Still in an uptrend, all right? Just not ready yet. Again, can't make it up. Can't hold the higher ground up over for that all-time high anchored VWAP. Okay, that's the pink line right here, okay? See, I'm telling you, they go up and they give it up. I said be careful for this. They have a habit of every time of going up, giving it up. And here we are today, living out that projection. Let's take a look at USO. Okay, so USO, see again, going up. See what I'm saying? They go up, they give it up. They go up and they give it up. They just have a habit of going up and giving it up. Okay, they have a hard time energy's been having a tough year. Having a hard time holding the higher ground. Price action, huge red candle down. I don't know how far down this is going to go. But you can see up there from yesterday, still in the upper third, so that's bullish. Closing under the trap is bearish, but closing over the 17 is bullish. You can see in the pre-market, we're definitely under the 17. We're over the 3-year high anchored VWAP, that's this pink line right here. That's a post-COVID high right there. Price action up over the midpoint, that's bullish. In the upper third, that's bullish. In an uptrend, that's bullish. And over the 3-year high anchored VWAP, still bullish. You get underneath the 17, not so much anymore, okay? If we lose the upper third, I got to say it's not bullish. It goes back to neutral, okay? It'll be go up, give it up, it'll be back to neutral again. So there's USO. In an uptrend, making higher lows and higher highs. Let's take a look at UNG. Got the same gig going on in UNG. Lower high, lower low. Closing this one a little worse off. Closing under the trap and under the 17. Right on top of this 12-month high anchored VWAP. Over the uptrend line. Trying to act bullish, but really just struggling here. Darn near the lower third, not in it yet. Maybe later today it will get in the lower third, and that will be bearish again. Okay, so if they get back into the lower third, that's going to be bearish again. So there's UNG. It's still in an uptrend over this 12-month high anchored VWAP, but under the 17. So just neutral right through here so far. Okay, not in the upper third, not in the lower third, over the uptrend line. In an uptrend, not a very strong uptrend. If you can see, that's the high that they beat right there. That little peak in the middle of these two valleys right there. That little high, that's not much, all right? So there's UNG in an uptrend trying to act bullish, failing miserable. There's UNG. Let's take a look at precious metals, gold and silver. All right, gold and silver, higher lows and higher highs, closing over traps or in traps over the 17 EMAs. Those are all bullish. Over these all-time high anchored VWAPs or the 12-year high. Up in quadrant 4, that's bullish. Over the uptrend line, holding that higher ground. All of that is bullish. You can see silver kind of doing the same gig, holding the higher ground up here, quadrant 4, over the 17. Inside bullish trap right there. Silver in an uptrend, making higher lows and higher highs, just like GLD in an uptrend. So there's silver and gold in uptrends. Take a look at SMH. Semiconductors, bullish up here in quadrant 4, holding the higher ground. Okay, they're looking good. XLK, technology, tackling the all-time highs up here. That's bullish. Look at this. This is up over this. New all-time high for XLK today. See the price action up over the green line? That's a new all-time high for XLK. Anytime you got new all-time high, I mean, that's bullish if you didn't know that. All right? XLF. XLF, quadrant 4, bullish in an uptrend, bullish over the all-time high. It's bullish, holding the higher ground. Always bullish, XLF. Let's take a look at IYT. Transports. What do we got? Outside day, closing just over the midpoint. Look at this. Transports might make it into the upper third. Maybe. If we could get those two boys to the table, we could see transports possibly in the upper third. Look at this. We could get transports up there. Right now, under the all-time high anchored VWAP, okay, that's but tackling it, so that's just neutral. Not in the upper third, not in the lower third. Just hanging out, holding this higher ground, not quite in the upper third, so we're just neutral still on IYT. All right. Yeah, well, I mean, then it dropped, and then now it's off the table. It's still got the possibility to go to the moon. I mean, now that they don't want to cooperate, we'll see. So Rickster says, bet a lot of people got hurt thinking the oil's going to go to the moon. Yeah, it did look like that, and it really did. There's IYT anyways. Let's take a look at, let's just go ahead and knock out the economic package, then we'll talk about trading this market today. Okay, let's drag this up here. Okay, drag it up. And Scoot this down. Okay, so here's the U.S. dollar. This block right here, this is major support. And we broke major support. So now major support becomes minor resistance. And you can see price action went up there into minor resistance and got rejected. All right, so currently we're in a bear flag moving over to the right. Dollar's in a downtrend. We like dollar in a downtrend. All right. As a consumer, it sucks because that means your dollars don't go as far as they used to. Okay. It means it costs you more for everything. So having a weak dollar is no fun at all. That means everything's going to cost more. All right. But if you're a business and you're global, you like a weak dollar because now that makes your goods and services more competitive against the other global competitors in the same space. So globally, we like this a weak dollar, but as consumers, no, not so much because now everything costs us more. Okay, so but dollar's in a downtrend, all right, and consolidating in a bear flag underneath minor resistance. So there's U.S. dollar in a downtrend. Markets love that, by the way. Markets love that. SPY Max Pain, 598, all right, is Max Pain for the SPY options that expired today with a put-to-call ratio of 1.21 puts for each call that expires today. I don't think we're going to get anywhere near 598. After reading Rickster's comment, I'm going to change my mind. We could get back to 598. We'll see what happens now that I see that everything's not where it was. All right, so we'll see what happens with that. Earnings calendar. Okay, what do we got? Tuesday, FedEx going to report. Again, familiar names, nothing that's going to move the markets. Wednesday, Micron Technology reports in the evening, 136 billion. They're going to report tomorrow night. 136 billion right there. Again, some more familiar names. Nothing that's going to move the markets. Thursday, familiar names. Nike. All right, McCormick. Again, nothing that's going to move the markets. Friday, familiar names. Nothing that's going to really move the markets right there. Okay, so there's the earnings. How about the economic calendar? Well, for today, we got current account balance at 8:30. Case-Shiller Home Price Index, 9 o'clock. In case you didn't get enough of one index, we're going to give you the FHFA House Price Index at 9 o'clock as well. Consumer Confidence at 10. Right after Consumer Confidence, Mr. Powell's going to speak at 10. I don't think he's going to have much to say unless, of course, we got trade deals done. All right, without trade deals, I don't think there's much he can do. And as long as war continues, I don't think there's much that he can count on. Everything, the market doesn't like uncertainty, all right? If we just get a whole lot more uncertainty, you could see price fall all the way back to 550. Just be careful out there, people. All right? Market does not like uncertainty, and the idea that what we had would look good, but now it's gone, that could cause the markets to pull back harshly. We still don't have any trade deals negotiated yet. At least nothing has come out in the news. Tomorrow, we got Mr. Powell's going to speak again at 10. So if you didn't get enough of him today, at 10, you're going to get some more tomorrow. New home sales also come out at 10. NBA mortgage applications at 7. And that's it right there. Where is the gas report? Yeah. Petroleum report at 10:30 tomorrow. Thursday, we got durable good orders, 8:30. GDP, that's the main event this week, 8:30. International trading goods and goods, that's at 8:30. Jobless claims, 8:30. Chicago Fed National Activity Index, 8:30. Corporate profits, 8:30. Retail inventories, 8:30. Wholesale inventories 8:30. Pending home sales index, that's 10 o'clock, and a gas report at 10:30. And we'll hit Friday later on. That's it for me for this morning. All right, let's take a look at where we are in the SPY map, okay? Now, before we even got to this area, okay, I want you to know this is 583 to 605, okay, right there. So let's just go take a look at SPY on a clean chart. So let's take SPY, okay? Okay, now you see I'm gonna pick up something a little cleaner, okay? So now I'm going to box this off, okay? Now, if you guys were with me in a while, I said when we get back to this area, that is the supply zone, okay? And I said it was probably going to take us more than a couple of 4-hour candles to get through it, okay? Probably take us 3 to 4 weeks because this is 3 to 4 months, November to December, January, February, and part of March, okay? So you can see this is the supply zone. As we came back to the supply zone, I said there's a chance we're probably going to consolidate in the supply zone, all right? And I said, and then eventually we're going to get a breakout and we're going to have consolidation over prior consolidation in the supply zone right up here. And that's exactly what we got, okay? If for all of you that remember me talking about it, this is exactly what we got. Here is the consolidation in the supply zone. I said it would take us a while. And then we've got consolidation over prior consolidation. Okay, we're waiting for, well, we didn't expect war to break out. That's for one thing. Okay, we're waiting for those trade deals to get finalized. And I think while we're waiting, we're just going to consolidate. And that's pretty much what we did. So, again, consolidation over prior consolidation is bullish. If things don't get any better, I see a harsh pullback to 550 in the near future. So just be careful out there. Let's take a look at where we are. Okay. Get the golden arrows up. Okay, so we've already gone through this. And yesterday, you remember, we were down at 593. And then this morning, last night, actually, we closed the day around 600 right there. And then last night, in the post-market, pre-market, we wound up coming all the way up to 605. So that's where we are right now on the SPY map. Now we're looking for a halfback. Okay, so that halfback may come in the form of, let's just say, peace not done. All right? Peace not done. And then peace, they all decide to wake up and come to their senses. And then they decide to negotiate and we get something done. Okay, so that's what it could be. Could be trade deals. Trade deals get done, and then we rip. All right? Now, I'm just saying, there's a possibility for an extra V to develop here. Okay? There's a possibility for an extra V to develop. We'll see what happens. Okay, then again, we could have everybody at the table this morning, and we could go up a little higher. And we may see it pull back here and then rip higher, okay? So a lot of variables on the stage depending upon the news that we get this morning, okay? If everybody shows up, wants to go to the table, wants to end the killing, that would be nice, okay? Price action pulls back, and then we get a higher low, and then look for a rip for a higher high. We'll see what happens, okay? Any one of those things. Peace could bring us to a higher low and a higher high. Trade deals could bring us to a higher low and a higher high. We'll see what happens. Neither one, possible pullback tonight, 593. Okay? No peace, no trade deals. Jerome says we're hawkish. We could pull back to 593. We'll see what happens, all right? A lot of variables on the stage this morning with Mr. Powell and everybody. We'll see what happens. Let's look at the pre-market. All right, in the pre-market, let's trash that off. Okay, you can see we're consolidating at the highs. That's bullish. All right, so probably going to get a rip early in the morning. I don't know how far it goes. Maybe 608, maybe up to 610. We'll see. But consolidating at the highs up here, that's bullish environment. Okay, we'll see what happens. It could go either way. Nobody's coming to the table, so now we gap fill. All right. So mark off that first 15 minutes. All right, and look for the breakout of that first 15 minutes of trading. Let that first 15 minutes trade out. If you see green erases red, all right, so we'll box that off. Okay, so this would be green erases red right here. If we see green erase, this would be the red. Oh, right over the top of this base, look for a breakout, maybe up to 608, maybe up to 610. We'll see what happens. But you could have green erases red early this morning where this pullback or this consolidation, we get a breakout to the upside. We'll see what happens. But mark off that first 15 minutes. Whoever breaks out, probably going to head off in their direction. All right, that's my plan for this morning. All right, I do think that we do get a pullback to gap fill if nobody's coming to the peace talk table. And that's where we are with that. Okay. Rickster says, is Friday or Mondays the end of the first half of the year? They might want to push up. I don't know. You're talking about this Friday and Monday? You mean those window dressing? Yeah, they may want to push up Friday or Monday. We'll see what happens. Into the window dressing there. They may push up for that. I still think we go up to 650. I don't know how we get there, whether it's through peace, whether it's through peace and trade, or whether it's just through inflation. We'll see. I still foresee price moving up to 650. We'll see what happens, all right? I do like this, holding the higher ground in the pre-market. That's bullish. All right, we'll see what happens. All right, mark off that first 15 minutes. Maybe you get a green erases red right over the top of this area right here, 605.86. Well, there's a new rally high right there, 605.86. All right, in the pre-market. All right, traders, that's it for me. I'll take questions in the room. If not, I'm going to go ahead and try and get my video rendered and get it out there. All right. I will be back in about 35 minutes. Thanks, Jim. All right. So I'll see you guys in about 35 minutes.